Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Instalocked. I'm MBS, today joined by Doomros, Vora, and Timotino, and today we're going to be discussing everything VCT. All right, guys, so we just wrapped the kickoff.
Yep.
This is the first official split we had. How do you think it went? I'll start with you, Eric.
Considering everything, I think it went pretty all right. At least in my eyes, we had a few objectives with this tournament. One objective was play a lot of matches, which we did. We played a lot of rounds, a lot of matches. I think every step of the way we actually evolved in an important way and learned a lot. Sadly, we didn't get the win, but like if you look at it from the outside now, we get all the reps in. We get a lot of preparation for stage one. So for me, it was just a success. You know, I'm super happy considering. Could be happier, you know, but there's a lot of silver lining. So do you guys agree?
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
no?
for me, I think I can speak for myself. I personally took away a lot from every game we played. We played a lot of matches. I was learning things each and every game along the way, and I think everyone else on the team was pretty optimistic. And I think we, like you said, we kind of took away a good chunk of experience, especially for our squad, like getting used to each other and the way we play. Me and Tim, rookies, of course, playing that many games is really important. So I think there's a lot of positive things to take away from the
Revelations.
Yeah.
He mentioned
Yeah,
it
for
to me.
Yeah.
Like in the gym, it was like, I had so many like revelations.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like my main goal going into kickoff was genuinely just to get as much experience as possible individually, and like from every single matches, especially our losses to G2 and NRG both times. Like I learned a lot about a bunch of things. So my main goal was pretty much realized. We're the team that played the most games out of anyone in kickoff. So I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. Obviously, we didn't win, and our last loss was like not the greatest, but I mean, I'm still proud of us for, you know, like showing up and getting that much experience from one tournament.
Yeah, I think I'll echo what you guys said, but for me, the most important thing was to see how we start the year. Obviously, we had the off-season where
Yeah.
it wasn't the best, but obviously it was off-season. It was just like a week of practice, us being online, like 5 a.m. matches for you guys as well. I think like we used to practice in off-season like from noon to 4 p.m. like games, and then we go into Sen Invitational, play at 7 p.m. The whole like scheduling, everything is off, so it felt really like shit to play, I'll be honest. Starting the season as in a way we did, I was relieved a little bit and happy. Obviously against the big teams we struggled, but I think that's normal, right? And I do think we took away a lot of like positives as well.
I mean, considering you and me, we arrived like 2 days before kickoff, right?
Instantly got sick. as
Yeah,
well.
instantly got sick. So yeah, I think considering all that, and I think we did a good job.
You're
Yeah.
him, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall community sentiment was really good with our team as well. Does this make you guys like more confident in the project moving forward? Like the outside positive noise this time?
I think it is relieving to see. You know, you open up Twitter and you look at the first reply and it's not complete hate. You know, it doesn't ruin your mood entirely. So I mean, I don't really glare at it too much, but every time I do, it is mostly positive. People being optimistic. Like our fans are not really doomed on us. Like they do have hope for us, and I respect them for that, and I'm very grateful. It gives me confidence because like I feel like our main objective, I feel like getting used to each other and stuff is like going really well. So I mean, there's a lot to be optimistic about, and I'm glad our fans are doing that for us.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't like to think about like the outlook of other people. I feel like the most important thing is just to focus on our team and what we do every day. It doesn't matter if we lose, win, you know, whatever. I'm not really into like other people's opinion. So to me, it doesn't affect me that much, and I'm just trying to play the best Valorant I can.
Control the controllables. You
Exactly.
can't do anything about
Yeah.
what people think or say, right? You can't even think about the results because you can change the results. It's just about your performance as a team, individuals.
Yeah.
Next one is for you, Jordan. So as an IGL, it's super important to have like trust from your team.
Yeah.
Do you think during this kickoff that was like a big improving factor? How do you feel, you know, the trust is for your calling from within the team?
I think the trust was established a long time ago. I think it's like more about like the fluidity aspect where like things get heard quicker, understood faster, and people like add on quicker. I think like for me, like my teammates like already kind of gave me that trust. They already gave me that space. They understood like that I'm here to like I give good calls and understand that. I think like for me, the biggest part of Kickoff that I've seen is just like us getting on the same page quicker and just like kind of bouncing off the ideas a lot faster. And like for me, I think that's like the biggest thing we accomplished in that regard of like giving me trust and stuff. It's more like just using my calls as like a tool, and we all just you know ping pong off of it and just try to win off of them.
How was IGLing under pressure? Especially like against the bigger names, maybe.
I briefly mentioned it like the first time I played NRG like on Corrode, like they kind of left me like no options, it felt like. But you know, I don't really like perform worse under pressure, just more like new experiences. And like when I experience that, like, it's like I'm kind of throwing like the unknown a little bit. It's like, okay, now I'm experiencing something I've never experienced before. It's like, okay, I don't know how it's gonna go, because usually like I've experienced this scenario before. I played so much Valorant, I know what's gonna happen. But like that was like kind of the first time I didn't know what was gonna happen. So those matches like taught me a lot in regards to like just experiencing scenarios for the first time, or like trying new things when I have nothing left, you know? So that's how it was for me.
I think those scenarios when you're like experiencing it for the first time on the stage and unofficial, I mean, those are pretty cool. They're hard,
Yeah.
but they're pretty cool. Like when you practice and prepare for stuff, you can never prepare for all of the outcomes, right? You can have 10 different scenarios planned out. You make sure, like you can bet your ass once you get into official, there's going to be an 11th and a 12th scenario, and it's always going to be something new.
I want to share something funny. It happened so many times. It happened, was against NRG, but basically we were sitting in the coaching booth, right? And I remember I say to MBS, I said, okay, if we do this and then do this, that's the perfect call, you know? And it goes like 5 seconds, and he just makes exactly the same call. So it's like, I'm just happy to see that, because usually that's like when the coaches and the IGL are kind of in sync and thinking the same way, that's when we really can like add new stuff, streamline the process, and just grow as a team, right? It's all about being on the same page, you with the players, but also us with you, right? So it was fun. It just happened so many times, and I think it was against NRG it happened, right? So yeah, I'm just like so impressed. I'm so impressed with Jordan. Like you have no idea. I have a lot of experience with IGLs, right? And just the way you call, the way you're calm, the way you can adapt, right? Obviously, you can't adapt to anything, and you have to have new experiences, and you have to go through the ringer. But like as the tournament progressed, like I see you taking control more and more, and everyone like gelling together. So yeah, for me, I won't say I'm a proud, you know, like a fucking dad, but you know, I'm impressed, and I'm happy because it makes our life so much easier when we have you.
W Glaze from Eric. W Glaze.
Thank you.
Let's move the spotlight from Jordan
Yeah.
to Tim now. So Tim, coming from tier 2,
Yep.
how does it feel to face against the superstar duelists?
I mean, to be honest, I don't like to think about individuals. I'm thinking more about teams. So like facing NRG, I learned so many like things. And to be honest, like coming into tier 1, when like before kickoff, we like a lot of people ask me that question, like what is different from tier 2 to tier 1? And my answer was like not really anything. I felt like the game is pretty much the same. But like facing the NRG, the G2s, one thing I've realized that is so different from tier 1 to tier 2 is just anti-shrouding. When you play NRG and they have a week to prepare, the whole like everything you do, they're so ready for. And that's something that's never happened in tier 2, because in tier 2, like no one has really a good coaching staff. No one really watches your VODs and creates a game plan off it. So it's like anti-ing in tier 2 is just non-existent. And when you go to tier 1, being able to adapt to how like the team plays from your own anti and from the way they anti you is just, I've realized, so important. And it's one thing like I can focus on in the future. It's just like the biggest thing that was like so crazy facing the G2, the NRGs. So like I'd say it's just the main thing like I've learned from playing those teams.
So you mentioned that except those teams, it was not different like the other ones. So were you surprised that it was like the transition was quite easy, I would say?
What do you mean?
Except like you mentioned G2 Energy,
Yeah.
like a big change in terms of anti, but everyone else, you said it was the same.
It was mostly similar. I mean, obviously, like the first teams we play, like Lev, first team we play, like they can't really anti. but I didn't feel like it was that insane, the level of anti that those first teams had. It was really mostly when we played NRG, like especially the second time. Our last match against NRG was, it felt like they were just very prepared for what we were doing. Except those top teams, I didn't feel really the anti was that insane.
Okay. And what about yourself? What did you learn from this kickoff in terms of like what do you need to work on and improve the most for the next split individually?
Individually, I'd say it comes out a lot to like mentality and the way you see the game. I had a big focus point was always to stay confident and like have a lot of confidence in myself and do my plays. But one thing I've realized is I was putting too much emphasis on like winning and the result. And like playing those matches against NRG, I've realized the best version of myself is the version of myself that just doesn't think about result at all. So it's just like being able to put myself in that state of mind where result doesn't matter and it's purely just playing the game, having fun. And having fun like is probably the most important thing like that I've realized. It's just like enjoying the moment and not thinking about the result at all. That's the main thing that I need to like focus on and change my mentality, because I'm always a big like overthinker. So like the result always comes up to my mind. It's about like blocking that and just making sure that I focus on the moment and just having fun.
Yeah, funny thing is like we lost a couple of days ago. We took some time off. We haven't had really time to sit down and talk, even like individually about these things. So me and Eric are just fully grinning now, hearing these things coming from you. It's so good.
He's such a smart guy.
W Glaze for Eric. W Glaze.
It's like sometimes, you know, because me and him, we share the same apartment. Yeah. Sometimes I meet him in the kitchen and he just has this like, I don't know, he just like explains his thought process and he realizes things about himself so much after each match. So it's like, it's the easiest guy to like coach, because it's like, he does all the work, but he knows, you know, how we need to change and what is happening. He's like very intelligent, you know. Of course you are too. I mean, but I don't want to glaze too much, but you know, it's good that, especially when you're coming up from tier 2 to tier 1, that you're actually very aware of yourself and your own feelings and what is your weak points and what can you work on, you know. I think that's a big plus.
What was it that I told you after we lost the last game against NRG and went back to the room, and I said something along the lines like, when you do bad or when you suck or something, you're so fast like to know what happened and just to improve to the next game, and you're like laughing. The other players were also laughing like we just lost, and the coaches, you know, flaming them, but it wasn't really meant like that. It was like a compliment that as soon as like you see like a big weakness, you're like, you just take a day, you process it so fast, and you're like instantly on the, you know, next step already going forward. So we have to talk about your Waylay.
Yeah.
How did we manage to make you the Waylay one trick almost this time? How did we get here?
I hate that term because I hate being a Waylay one trick. I hate it. I want to play everything else. But I mean, it was a big challenge being like, because the way a lot of teams implement the Waylay is with the double duelist approach, with having like the Waylay Yoru and just having somebody to like follow up on the Yoru. So like the way we did it was, I feel like, a little bit more difficult with maybe a higher ceiling, where it's just like you have to be solo Waylay, so you have to be really good at like both doing the entrying and setting up your teammates while having, you know, less like firepower behind you. Because obviously you don't have a Yoru TPing behind you, you don't have like a Neon running in behind you, killing the guy that's slowed. So it was very hard for me to just like find the right balance of, you know, like when to set up my teammates' utility and when to go for a kill, because I'm the only firepower in terms of entering. So it was pretty difficult, but I feel like we did find a good balance. Obviously, we didn't win the event, but I feel like we did a pretty good job at like finding the right balance from, you know, like being aggressive and still setting up my teammate.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we learned, that in scrims, solo Waylay for us as well, right? It works so well because there's no pressure. Yeah. And it is, I think, I agree with you completely. Higher ceiling, but way harder to pull off. But when you go into officials and the pressure is there.
Yeah. One thing I've realized also is how easy it is to just kill people that are out of position with Waylay in scrims versus matches. And one thing I've realized is like in when I was in tier 2 and I was scrimming, the game was 1-to-1. Scrims and matches were the exact same. And when you go into tier 1, like now you're scrimming against lower level teams. So your scrims and matches aren't 1-to-1. It's very different. So like whenever, like especially against NRG, like I was playing the exact same way I was scrimming, and I was going to matches and I was playing the same way, and it worked way less because it's so much harder to like kill people that are out of position in tier 1. Whenever you're in a match, it's like super high pressure. Like dashing on somebody with the shorty is just so much harder because there's always somebody with him. And there's always like people are just thinking way more.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like just doing a skydive with a Bucky. Yeah.
So much harder.
I mean, I think it's both worlds, because even at the pro, like top tier 1 level, there's always people that's gonna be out of position.
For sure. But I'm saying like, in the same scenarios, if I was like in a scrim doing a certain play, it would work like 99% of the time. But if I did it in a match, it'd be like 50. It'd be a 50-50.
And that's really the big challenge when you are in these leagues, is because you know that the scrims you're doing is not really representative of what you will face in a match. So the challenge is always to try to play as you would play in a match, right? You try to like replicate it, even if it isn't the best way to win the scrim. You're doing it because it will be good in a match, right? And it's super fucking hard to do that. And then I also agree a little bit with, I feel you're such a good Waylay, but me and MBS, we're kind of throwing you a little bit into the wolves, limit testing what's possible and what's not, right? But that's what Kickoff is about as well. It's like testing, different, strategies and different ways of playing, and see what can you get away with, where's the limit, So from my perspective, you did an amazing job, like the whole tournament.
Yeah, a little bit more glaze from my side as well. I think the solo Waylay thing was only possible because we had you.
Oh, yeah.
Waylay. I think like there's probably only a couple players worldwide that you can like pull off solo Waylay comps. Because you just need such an incredible Waylay. Let's move forward. Let's talk about the matches and how stuff went. So looking back at the results from other teams and from us as well, what do you guys think about like the overall level of competition? Because there was like a lot of matches that were super close. Do you think like a lot of teams are like very evenly matched across the board?
You want to ask me?
Maybe the players actually.
I can start because I'm European, so
you can have a different like, viewpoint.
I think there's a lot of big names in the scene. Like coming in here, I have no like preconceived notions on who's good and who's bad. And I think some teams that people think are good are not as good. And some teams that people think are bad are actually good. That's all I want to say is... not anymore.
you have any examples?
No.
Hit us with an example, Eric. Let's go.
But
Let me hear it.
I would say that like as a region, the region is actually very good. I actually think we're higher up in the tier list than people might assume. But obviously that's just because I'm biased. But
like we're like the proud parents. We see from the inside that our guys are so good. We know they're the best.
But you kind of have to have that mentality in a team where you actually have belief that you are the best, because that's always where I'm coming from, is I actually believe that we are the best team and we can do it,
Talk about our matches. Like in the uppers, we faced Lev into G2, right?
Yeah.
How do you think the upper bracket went for us?
I think it was like, I don't know, I think we were very still, what's a good word for it? Still developing a lot of fundamental things with our team. Like that G2 loss, we took away like a lot about like micro stuff, like just being together and just like the whole teamwork aspect, like not like panicking when things get hectic, like when the pressure's on, just like not like crushing to it. Like that was like a big emphasis of the uppers. Even with the Lev game, like just adapting quicker and just being, like, it was just a big teamwork emphasis in the uppers, to be honest.
All right. I'll give you the middle bracket, Tim. So middle bracket, we faced Sen into NRG.
I mean, in my opinion, Sen was like much better than a lot of people like saw them as. I feel like Sen was, I see them kind of like similar to us, where it's like they have like good ideas, and it's just like they're like so close to being like one of the top teams. And it's like a lot of people were like blaming individual players, which I feel like is pretty lazy. They were like really like decently put, and I feel like with a lot of time they'll be like one of the top teams for sure. And then NRG, obviously NRG is the world champion, so it's just like they were always good. they're obviously like they're one of the top teams in America, but I do feel like overall a lot of like the teams are very close in terms of like skill.
I fully agree, but I will piggyback it. My comment before is that's what I was hinting at. I think Sentinels is a lot better than people think. It's like for me, Sentinels, G2, NRG, various like really good teams. So yeah, I kind of agree with you, but also that it's a level playing field.
Yeah, it's still so early that you can't really obviously top three like the G2, MIBR, NRG are obviously top teams, but like,
Furia, you forgot Furia.
Okay, well, yeah, Furia. I don't know about Furia. Like they're a great team, but I don't know if they can keep the same like level of play that they had in Kickoff.
Okay, look, I'm the only one of the team who predicted that Furia would win over MIBR.
Everyone believes you, Eric. You predicted that.
I was the only one, okay? I'm a big Furia lover, okay?
I mean, they're really good right now, but I don't know how well they can keep that form going to like the future.
It's hard to tell. It's Kickoff. It's early days, right?
I'm excited to watch them in Santiago. I want them to win. I love the Furia players. Like if I'm rooting for a team, I'm rooting for Furia.
Yeah, now I'll talk a bit about the lower bracket run. So lower bracket, we had 3 matches. It was EG, C9, and then into NRG again.
Yeah.
God, I hated that NRG lost against, in the one of the middle bracket or whatnot. And, I would have loved to face anyone else. But,
yeah, we're such a good team.
Yeah, starting with EG, honestly, I think EG made like a big improvement throughout the tournament. Honestly, when we played them, it felt very similar to like Sen and even C9. I think towards the end, because there was like a lot of change in teams throughout the Kickoff, especially the younger teams and like the newer teams. I feel like, for me, C9, for example, is always the stable team, right? They're the team that you have to beat if you want to go internationals, and usually probably maybe like another team to just make those top 3 or whatnot. So they're always solid. But then teams like Sen, EG, like Furia as well. I think obviously Furia did the best out of those. All of them are very competitive. I think the only teams that didn't look that great this tournament, right, was the teams that had like roster issues, roster swaps. Maybe one another, but I think the middle pack is very close.
Yeah.
I think you have a couple of teams that are above, and I think the middle pack is not that far away from the top as well. It's like the middle pack is strong.
Yeah. That was a surprise to me coming from EMEA because we usually are pretty top heavy,
Yeah.
I could definitely see in Split 1, I could definitely see a Sen, a Lev, like those type of teams, even an EG, like be a MIBR or Furia. Like I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So we kept like a lot of matches close and competitive. Like we won, I think, a lot of like 13-11s and all of that stuff. But which match was the strongest showing of what we had to show? What do you guys think?
Haven.
I mean, not the series?
No, it's the obvious one. No, we're 100 Thieves. Which map did we do the best showing on?
I think, man, like just the best showing as a team, like series wise, not just map.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like series wise as a team. Damn.
It's a hard one.
That's actually is a difficult one. Oh, I think like the most competitive like fight for our life game was the G2 one. I think like we all showed up like we were really like we were like at a disadvantage. I feel like showing up to that game and we made it really like competitive. Like we didn't like our if you compare like our recent NRG game compared to the G2 one, like we both felt like the same type of pressure, but like the G2 one we put up like much more of a fight. Like both the maps that we lost were pretty close, and the map we won was like a blowout.
Split wasn't that close.
Well, Leaf. One singular Leaf against 100 Thieves.
Split wasn't that close, so I won't lie.
But for me, our best showing was probably our first series and our first map. We played Bind on Attack. And it's like the first debut, and Jordan just calls the most like flawless perfect attack in VCT history.
History's crazy.
No joke, no joke at all. It was like, I don't know, usually what I do, I go home and watch the Sliggy VODs, and I was smiling. It's like, is your debut? It's I don't know if it was the first map Bind.
Yeah, it was the first map.
Yeah, just when obviously it's a bit of luck when everything just goes exactly your way. But for me that was like such a good like indication of the future, because I'm a bit of an attack nerd as well. I love attack on Valorant because that's actually when you can, you can outsmart people on defense as well, of course. But defense is more about like team play, communication, all this stuff. But attack is, the tactics and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that shit. So for me, it was the first series.
Yeah, I agree with Derek. I feel like our first map, Bind, against Lev was a really, really good like showing for us. So, but I don't feel like, obviously in every series there's like there's mistakes in every series. So I could only tell you a map, which is Bind against Lev.
Who did we play against the second time we played Pearl? We lost to Lev? It was Loud, right?
Loud, yeah.
Yeah, when we lost to Lev, we had like one big glaring issue,
Yeah.
which was like very easy to fix. And then when we played Loud,
Annihilation.
I was so happy. That was total domination. I think that was like a very strong showing from us. Obviously, it was, in kickoff against one of the weaker teams, but I think that map like impressed me a lot, and especially because we just, like a week ago didn't have at all good defense, and then that was so good for me as well. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about NRG and G2. Let's dive a little bit more into that. And I want to ask you guys, the players, what are your takeaways after those series?
I mean, my main takeaway on the second loss of NRG, like I said before, is just mainly how to play around anti. I feel like I did a very poor job at like taking the information that our coaches gave us to like anti them and play around what they already knew we showed. So it's just getting better at like improvising and just making sure like I properly like, I don't know how to exactly say this, but it's just like,
I think it does become like a 4D chess kind of thing when you play NRG, right?
Yeah.
You need to like level, you know they're gonna level you, so you need to like...
Yeah, you need to like understand what you already showed, the way you played, and still adapt so you don't exactly play the same way because they already have a game plan to like counter what you're doing. It's definitely hard because obviously like we played C9, then we played the next day. It's the same map pool, like literally the exact same map pool. And they had a week to prepare for you, so it was definitely like a big challenge. But it's one thing I can improve on in the future is just like thinking more about anti and just playing around or anti way more.
Yeah, for me, like I think anti as well. Like we come from lowers, we have to play like, every single day. It's rolling, and like when we play Abyss again, it's like I think I need to I didn't like go into the game understanding the fact that like they are watching us and they understand that we could do this again, and like they have a game plan ready. Like they were preparing. I kind of didn't like. My creativity, like when we understand we do the same ult rounds, like there needs to be like a level of creativity to at least throw them off and not give them an easy time. And I feel like, at least for me, like I learned that like calling slightly differently and just giving them more of like a difficult time, like at least throwing them off just a little bit or even a lot, just with anything I call is super important. I feel it was like, especially like evident like with the ult rounds we did on Abyss, they were ready for like 100% of the time. Like the tail ult rounds, Astral round, they were ready for it. And, for next time, like I could easily like change it or do something different on the fly. And I think that's something that's really important. And something that we usually do is just, I guess going into that match, I didn't keep it into consideration. And yeah.
Yeah, next time, Bonkar, you have to be even smarter. Because we're coming for that brain.
No, it's strong. Also, very assistant
both.
coach.
Yeah,
he's my friend also, but he's very smart. So
right. We also talked about when we faced G2 and NRG both. I think we discussed a little bit about respect shown from our side to them inside the server. What did we learn about that? Do you think we like over-respected them sometimes? How did you guys feel in the server?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like against G2, there's a very much like sense of respect, especially on first map on Bind. Like Bebe was doing a great job pressuring us with the operator, and the whole time, especially on attack, and even a little bit on defense, I was kind of like afraid to do what I usually do because of that op presence. And so like I learned about like, I just need to get better at like disrespecting it. Like obviously he can't be everywhere on the map, so sometimes you just have to like gamble and still play, even though like you have to peek your angles, even if they're opping, like you have to like kind of disrespect it. And I kind of a big thing that I took for the rest of the kickoff, I just disrespecting people a lot more. But against NRG, I'm kind of, even if like we lost and I didn't have the greatest performance, I'm still happy that I kept like doing it. I kept like being aggressive and playing my game, even though I was getting like, they were pretty good at like shutting me down. But if I could do it again, I'd probably still like disrespect them the way I did, even if like it didn't like if we didn't win in the end.
It's about being fearless and
Yeah.
being okay with doing the wrong play. I think that's like, especially, I guess some of his teams is, I think also what you guys should take from it is it's okay to be wrong, and rather like you need to take risks all the time. It's all about risks, right? And risk reward and all this. But when you're afraid to make a mistake or you're afraid to do the wrong thing, that's when nothing is happening, right? And the enemy can dictate the pace. So yeah, it's kind of what you said already. So it's good that you actually took that lesson. It goes for all of us, even for us, the coaches, right? It's, you need to be willing to take risks in every aspect, right? To get the win.
For me, I kind of like took it like a kind of a balance thing, like composure. Like when we start like going on a roll and you become more disrespectful as you start like swinging rounds in your favor. I think like for us, it's more like finding a balance. Like when you like win like 3-4 rounds, you force them on a thrifty and you feel like you're on top of the world and like you like any strat you think can work. And then they immediately like, bring it back because you overstepped a little bit. And then it brings you back to a level playing field. It's like, for me, it's just like finding that like even playing ground where it's like 60-40, 40-60 is just like trying not to tip too far, because like if you lose, they'll bring you back down to 0 and it's like, oh shit, like I'm out right now. I'm not
discipline.
Yeah, it's like a discipline. Like, we lost a lot of the series like to thrifty rounds, and like that's like after we won like 3 or 4 rounds, we were stringing rounds, we were getting a lot of momentum, and that's when we got a little too disrespectful. Like we just didn't care. Like if it didn't work, or like we didn't keep into consideration like what if it doesn't work, or what if we're doing something too quickly. It's just we felt like we were on top of the world, and that's kind of what kind of bit us in the ass at the end, or for those series. So yeah, just keeping a balance between respect and disrespect, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really about disrespecting your opponents. It's more about you always make the decision in the game that you think is the best, right? But sometimes it's just about making a decision, That's the important part. But yeah, if you go too much from the discipline, you know what you get?
Yeah, belt to ass.
No, what do you get if you...
Push-ups.
Yeah.
Next one is like for us, Eric, for coaches. How do we feel of the progression? Are we proud? Like the progression that was made from the Kickoff tournament?
I'm more than proud. It's like when you expect something and the expectations is just like the thing that we learned and everything that's going on is just more than what I was expecting. Like from a personal level, I got everything I wanted plus like, 500%. It's just the way we've been calling, the way everyone in the team has, like that's the most important thing. Yeah, like everyone in the team is finding their roles. Who am I on the server? Who am I in terms of what I need to come? Am I the guy that's gonna lift someone up, and am I the one who's gonna do this? I just think everyone kind of found their role as the tournament went on, and even when we lost against NRG. Or even when we lost the map and against C9, I just saw, everyone stepping up. And especially like even Peter, is starting to find like his role and his voice in the team in a more meaningful way, right? So for me, I think we just got better and better as time went on. Even though we might have lost in the end, I still think that was the best version of our team. So yeah, I'm just super happy. So that's like my broad, unspecific analysis, to not go into too much details.
I second that. I'm very proud about individuals, all 5 of them. I think everyone faced a lot of new challenges, role-wise, agent-wise, systems-wise, protocols, everything, right? Because like a whole new style was introduced to the team compared to like when we're talking about like Peter and Matt, right?
Yeah.
From the previous year, and Sean as well. Like new roles, new coaching style, everything was new. It's like a completely new project. I was very happy how they changed from what they're used to. They did have like a different style of Valorant, right? Before as well. So I was actually surprised how fast they made the change.
Yeah.
I'm happy about like Cryo's new agents as well, right? The Vipers on split, super good. Vito, a couple of times we played and then made the decision to swap for the last like weekend. 2 scrims, good, right? Astra, we haven't really showed that much,
Yeah.
but like on Breeze, such a good Astra as well. And it's that type of Astra that you just don't want to go into the side because, you know, around the smokes, in the smokes, Vandal out, you headshot, triple kill, that type of stuff. So there was like a question like how easy was it to implement the whole, you know, old guys with the new guys to the new system?
It was very easy.
Honestly, it was
Yeah.
very easy.
It's such amazing players. I also thought when coming in, I was like, okay, European coaches, right? We have our style, our ways of doing things, and I was thinking, okay, some role changes. Oh, it's gonna be like, you know, some friction, but it's been like lubed up completely. Like everything is just so smooth, you know. And it was quite a culture shock to me because I'm used to the more like, yeah, more friction, more problems, more just tough to actually do what you want to do. But in this team, it's like, yeah, they might not be the happiest playing some agents that we tell them to, but in general, they're just smooth. They just say, yeah, let's do it. We trust you guys. That's been the most amazing thing, I think. It's just we have a very good team and just good individuals, good boys that will do
Good
what
boys
they
is
need
crazy
to do.
work.
Good man.
Good men, yeah.
Good men.
I'm sorry, good men.
Good man. Let's talk a little bit about Peter, shall
Mm.
we? So the public eye doesn't know about Asuna's value to the team like fully, right? So I want you guys to talk about like the tangibles, the positives that he's bringing that, you know, maybe it's not always obvious from the outside.
My main thing about Peter is just how good he is at bringing people up. Like he's very mature and has a very good like idea of your state of mind without you saying anything. So it's like he's like really good at like picking up small tells of whenever you're tilted or you know you're like if you're like frustrated about something. He's really good at like understanding like why without even you like saying anything. So he's like a really good person to have to like fix problems before they happen. And like in matches, he's always the guy to like bring you up. If you whiff, if you make a mistake, he'll be the first guy to tell you it's okay, it's fine. Focus on the next round, blah blah blah. And that's something like fans can't see, and it's like something that's like his biggest strength in my opinion.
Yeah, Pete's like I think the best way to put it is like he has a really good sense of like emotional intelligence. Like
Yeah.
he understands when, how, and like what's going on around like our team's like state of mind, and it just keeps us in like a very level playing field. We never really go down when he's on the team ever. I think as well with Pete is he's very easy to just soak up information. Like he's the kind of guy you tell him something, he'll remember it forever. Like you
Yeah.
give him any sort of like I think like me and Tim were struggling with Ante. He loves Ante. This guy will remember everything. He will remind us as well. He understands everything he hears and he implements it without like, you know, like it's just like a veteran type of like presence in the team. Like someone who like just like hears these things and just is like very like, how do I say it? He always shows up like at a like a stable
Yeah.
field. Like
Yep.
he'll bring up the team every day. There's no bad like, you know, like anything from him. The information, like the veteran aspect of just like understanding the game, like he's always there, he's just always showing up. And I mean, it's pretty important to have someone like that.
I think for me, I'm gonna go a little bit more gameplay specific. I think he's one of the best initiators I've seen in terms of how fast his brain works, how fast he can set up plays with people, right? And just there's a lot of detail and information in the game that he can process really quick and based on deduction make the correct call or the correct play. So for me, that's been like really impressive. And I wonder why people haven't put him on like that role more, because it's such an important role, and how he sets up team or how he throws his flashes and all this is just like perfect. And obviously the emotional leader and all this stuff, of course. But for me, I was just impressed with, I mean, how we played the game. even stuff like fundamentals and realizing the state of the game on the minimap really fast is just helpful for this team, right? Because, you know, Jordan has to think about so many things when he's IGLing, and other players have to think about, you know, what we're doing. But Peter can just recognize the situation and just like call the correct keyword really fast. And just helps everyone. So yeah, I was just impressed.
Yeah, I think Alex second what you guys already said, but the way his brain is organized, it's impressive. You know, he has like he will never forget anything, and whatever feedback we give it to him, it always sticks, right? I think like one thing, I'll give like one example, that concrete example. One thing we've been working on since the start of the project is like the level of communication that he brings into the team, because we started at a very high level, and we try to tune it down. But then the question is, like, he still gives so much positive and useful information into the game. So where do we cut it down, right? And it was very easy to work with him, because whatever you tell him, okay, a little bit less communication when you're dead in terms of like microing other people, got it. That's down a bit. And then we play scrims next day, and he does it, and he asks, okay, but this time, was it good? Like, yes, it's good. Okay, saved, you know, never have to ask again. Yeah. So like the way he just remembers all of the feedback is super good. And that's always just a characteristic for him as a person. And when it comes to like the game, I think the way like he supports the team and the selfishness he brings.
Selflessness.
Sorry, yeah.
Selfishness is the opposite.
Not the native language, but thanks for it. Selflessness, right?
Yeah.
Right. He'll jump the corners, right? He will plant every spike, so Jordan doesn't have to, which is very nice.
He's the
right?
pillar, like he's the glue. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've been always saying that in every team you need a person like that. If you look at the stats and VLR, right? Whenever you have this person that is jumping corners, planting the spike, you can take like minus 30 ACS, minus 20 ADR every time, minus like 0.1 or 0.2 KD. Like the stats will always suffer just because he will die for the rest of the guys. And it's super important to have a guy like that in the team. And it's not like he's bad individually or anything, right? Like, bro, like some of the multi-kills he does, the spray transfers as well is so good. And the support, bro, like the KO stuff, whew, and the creative stage walls. I love that.
Yeah.
Super important. Let's talk about Matt a little bit then. He's your best friend.
I love Matt.
So his agent pool grew a ton this year. Well, you know, compared to before, I guess. How do you think he like improved as a player?
I mean, I feel like his ability to pick up new agents and just like be the same, like you put him on Chamber, he'll be the best guy on your team. And he had 30. And then you're just like, yo, Matt, can you play Asha? And you put him on Asha, and then he has 30, and he's the best guy on your team. You're like, okay, Matt, can you play like Vito? You put him on Vito, and it's the same thing. Literally does not change whatsoever, depending on the agent you put him on. And it's just like so flexible. It's like actually so, it's so like, I strive to be at that level of like consistency where no matter what agent you put me on, no matter what happens, no matter the day, no matter if you're sick, he's just perma, he's a rock, and he's just like the exact same. And he'll always put up numbers no matter what. It's the most impressive thing ever.
What do you think, Jordan, about his new role?
It's just straight Sentinel.
Yeah,
and,
how do you feel Matt as a player is fitting the Sentinel role?
I think it kind of plays into his play style a bit. He really likes to just like with Viper, like it kind of enables him to do his own thing. And I feel like he's someone who kind of was leaning in towards that, just wanting to be able to play his own game. Like you put him on a different, like on an island, and he'll like he play his own play his own chess game, and he'll usually win it. Like you don't need to worry about him. Like he's got you. Like he'll be an option always. That's how I feel like in terms of me having someone like that, like where I can call and always rely on the other guy on the other side of the world to be an option always is very comforting, and it's very it makes my life so much easier to have someone like that on the team who you just, like as Tim said, you know will get his job done like every time.
Yeah,
like,
no matter what.
Doesn't matter what character you play, Cypher, you like play like Killjoy, anything, any Sentinel or like lurk type of character, I just know he's gonna get the job done. Like I know he didn't play Sentinel that much, didn't play any of that like before this year, but like even coming to this year, like he's doing his job incredibly well to the point where I gel way easily, like way easier, mid-round way easier. Like he just, I know he's on the other side winning his chess game, but I don't got to worry about him ever. That's how I see him.
For me, even back, was it when he was in XZ? I always saw him as a sentinel ever since I first saw him play. You know, so for me, he's the same player, right? He's a sentinel, you know, and he's like rock. He's very consistent. His only downside is, you know, I'm better at him in table tennis. But apart from that, you know, it's Matt. It's like it's great just to have someone that's like very consistent with everything, even the way he communicates and when he speaks and what he says. It's just
We need somebody to humble Eric at table tennis. He's just so shameless. Comes to the team, it's just like destroys everyone. Like can't beat him. Somebody's got to come and like humble him ASAP. I can't stand this guy.
I'm still waiting. But yeah, no, Matt, good.
Yeah, heard.
I'll share something with the fans a little bit more like intricate, or if that's the word, I don't know. So when I got recruited for the position to NRG Thieves, and I did the entry, I guess you can say interviews with all the players. So I talked with Matt, and obviously back then everything was on the table, right? We didn't know who's gonna go, who's gonna stay, who's gonna be on what role. Like everything was open. So when we talked about the roles, because I went like one by one, you know, what do you think about you on Duelist, about Flex, just where I can see him in the future, maybe. When he talked about the Senti, which was the last role I asked him about, his whole like facial expressions, you know, the whole face just lit up. And I think ever since, I think he's made for the role. I think he's so good at being like self-sufficient, map control, lurks, like he has the balls to do all of that, right? I don't know, maybe in a way he does remind me a little bit of, I guess it's just mechanical skill-wise level, maybe like, you know, Alpha from Fnatic as well, is like the guy that will get the job done. You put him there, he's gonna stand, 2 red people, triple kill every time, right? It does me like, remind me a little bit about that. Obviously different kind of player, a little bit, it's not the same, but yeah, like when it comes to mechanics, like I just see them, you know, evenly matched, honestly. So yeah. Next, let's talk about Sean, and so that's Bang. I want to ask you, Eric, about Bang's ceiling as a controller player.
Bang ceiling. I think Bang ceiling is up in another galaxy. You know, that's what I think. No, honestly, like he has so much skill and it's such good aim, and like when he's on it and when he's actually like, you know, being creative with stuff, like he's such a good player. So like when I came into this team and I think it was the first scrim we played, maybe it was Sunset or something, and I just remember him play. I was like, yeah, this guy is fucking good, you know. It's yeah, we've been working on, I don't want to say too much, you know, a couple of things, you know, but I'm proud that he's like, I want him to come out of his shell, and I want him to be cocky, I want him to be mad, I want him to, you know, want to destroy the enemy, because like when he has this like anger in him, like he plays really fucking well. So yeah, I mean, that's my opinion of him. Like you can put him on anything, I think. Oh, I also I remember, like the reason I was a fan of Bang for the longest time is, I don't know why, but like when he has a ghost on pistols, he's like one of the best pistol players. You know, he just needs to realize that himself, but it's like, at least in my teams in EU, I don't remember who I talked with this about. We were just Bang fans, you know? Because every time on pistol, he would just get like a lot of kills. So yeah, happy to work with him. He's a funny guy, a goofy guy. We share the same amount of humor, you know? Yeah, so I like him.
Yeah, like just to like build on top of that as well. Before starting to work in NA as well, like from the outside, I always thought him as the best controller in the region, and the mechanical skill is just unreal. I think whenever I would think about his name, I would just see the vision of the kill feed, like bang, 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 3 kills, you know? It's like always multi-kills, Ghost insane, Phantom insane. Yeah, I think he's everything you would want in your controller player.
Yeah.
So smart in like micro scenarios as well, understands like everything what's happening.
And a hard worker. Like he works super
He
hard.
will deathmatch more than you.
Yeah. No,
Guys, today I didn't play my 15 death matches before scrims. I can't play. That's his favorite line ever. I didn't play 15 death matches.
Coach, we're
I
gonna
don't
be
feel
late
good.
10 minutes to the scrims because I still need to
Leaves,
deathmatch.
scrims ends, leaves, goes into deathmatch, plays a deathmatch instantly.
it's like, yeah, there's like death, taxes, and
Deathmatch.
Sean playing a
deathmatch.
deathmatch. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the future. What do we plan on doing to be prepared for stage 1?
I mean, we can't give away our whole plan, no? The enemy
We're
will
going to
know.
be playing triple duelist for the rest of the
Triple
year.
duelist. I love that.
Yep.
Has to be Reina.
Reyna, Peter Reyna, then Matt on Jet, and then I'm on Waylay. And that's our comps every map. Trust me.
And yeah, Sean Clove.
Yeah. Sean
Yeah,
Quill,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
How can we
yeah,
be vague
I'll be
enough,
Silva.
but specific enough? I mean, we will form a plan, a concept of a plan, you know?
Okay.
And then we will
Eric's
execute that
bullshitting now.
plan.
Somebody mute his mic.
Eric's just saying shit now.
No, I think from my side, first is rest. That's what we're gonna do now. So we finish kickoff. We have almost 2 months, just a little bit less until stage 1. So we're gonna take like a week off, reset. It's only been like a couple of months since me and you just a month. You guys a little bit earlier since we got here. So probably no like trips back home yet. But yeah, we're gonna take some time. Players will grind ranked. We're gonna go maybe some theme park, movie night. We do have one movie we need to
Yeah.
watch, right? So
What is that? What movie you guys need to watch?
Yeah, it's boomer humor, you
it's
know?
boomer humor,
Oh,
but
okay.
we're gonna watch you die from cringe and enjoy that a
Yeah.
lot. We'll see. But
Gulp.
yeah, first is rest. Obviously when we're resting, like we're already like Eric when you said today, yeah, at least like 1 or 2 days without thinking about the game. I think that's just not possible.
Yeah, no,
it's
I
just
tried,
always
but
around. Yeah, we're already like building concepts moving forward. What we can try. Rest, planning for the 6-7 weeks we're gonna have for practice. We're gonna like now that we have like a very good so the very start of our team was building foundation, and then just before kickoff, leaning towards the strongest kind of pillar that we saw. And now we have the very good foundation already, and all of us are here in LA. We can have like longer working hours, better VOD reviews, all of that stuff. We can way to the sides way further and experiment way more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna try a bunch of new things and new ideas and stuff, and meanwhile also building on the stuff that we already have. Can't really wait for the new map pool, and probably with the new map pool should be some balance changes. So we'll see how that affects everything. But yeah, definitely exciting times ahead.
I thought of a new saying. It's like we built the house, you know? Now we can actually like paint it and decorate it, you know? And maybe add a garage and maybe like reinforce it a little bit, you know?
Reinforce it. Yeah.
You know, it's
I wouldn't go as far as to say that the house has been built yet.
Maybe
I think
the
it's like
roof.
the foundation.
foundation.
You know, like we have the plot
yeah.
and the foundation, and now we can like start building. You see,
Yeah, some architecture,
1
you
floor,
know.
2 floors. We'll
Yeah.
see. 3 floors. So we've had the groups drawn for stage 1 already. What are we thinking, guys? What do you think, Jordan, about our group? Who was it? It's like
You're gonna have
us,
to-
us, NRG,
Furia,
Furia,
Furia?
EG, Sen, and Crew.
Crew. I mean,
We have to be in the same group as Sen, obviously.
yeah. I mean, we have to be in the same group percent, and we have to play NRG again. And I mean, it's whatever. I mean, we're bound to play them eventually, anyways. I'm down to get out the way earlier.
We didn't talk about it, but I'm excited to see how good Crew is gonna be. Like,
Yeah, we haven't seen that
obviously
at all.
they didn't play kickoff because of their visa issue. So I'm excited to see how that roster is gonna look like, because we have no idea.
We did scrim them a bunch in when we were in Ascension. Remember?
In Brazil.
Yeah,
we?
We did
Yeah.
scrim them a bunch,
They
and they were actually looked pretty nice. They were very heavy on the mosquito comp,
Mm.
and they were actually doing the your Waylay stuff quite well.
Yeah.
I was low key kind of high on them in kickoff. I thought they would be like a surprising
You
team,
thought they'd be there?
but
Yeah.
unfortunately, they couldn't be there. So yeah, I'm excited. Like we'll have Furia and Crew, like 2 teams that we haven't faced yet.
Yeah, I just want some fresh games, like just some new teams and stuff. You know, so you don't get what you get on all the time. I'm down to rematch all these teams. NRG especially, I want.
Yeah, we're gonna lock in
game.
5 duelists against NRG. Obviously, that's our plan.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the G2 strat.
Yeah, just run them for sure.
And run away from Vodin.
And then Sen we're just gonna just play two maps again, 13-11.
Yeah,
make it close, but
no. From my perspective, I mean, anyways, you need to, at the end of the year, you're gonna play all the teams, right? So like your groups, like they matter, but they don't really matter. But
you're gonna play them anyway.
I'm just excited to face Sen again, because what I learned is there's some kind of rivalry between 100 Thieves and Sen. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just makes it more fun to play, more stakes. So
there's like the match was like 4. We have 4 wins. They have like 16 or something.
Wait,
we have to work on that. I think.
Wait, they have 16 wins against us.
Yeah, like 20 million. I've never seen the office so lit up after beating Sentinels in my life. I'm not gonna lie. That was a good win for the org. I'll give it to
That
them.
was like Christmas for the office.
So good.
Right now, I don't want to face Sen. Now I became nervous, guys. It's not good.
Yeah, I remember. I think I watched I think Nate Shot was watching together with Tarek or something. He was giving
those
it
two
to,
are too
he was
funny.
giving it to him, So out of the 5 times they faced, Nate Shot wins once, Tarek wins 4 times. So you have to use the time when you actually win.
Break the curse now.
Yeah. So I think what I thought about the groups is they're looking pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Across the board.
I feel like
I think there's a lot of unknowns as well. Like we don't know how the the new Envy will look. We don't know if Crew is gonna be here. We don't know how
Demon One.
yeah. We don't know how
Is Envy our group or are they in the
no,
other
they're in the other group.
Okay.
But I think both groups across the board look pretty.
group? Yeah.
That left group is super unknown. Like they got the Loud rebuild, the Envy rebuild. I mean, they have the Lev, the new Lev.
new
You
Lev.
know how it's gonna look. And there's a whole lot of new things. It's not
MIBR
gonna be-
as well, right? Supposedly they come into kickoff without having that much practice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's also unknown how it's gonna be.
I wanted to play. I forget the team name with Poppin.
Envy.
Envy. Yeah. Envy.
Yeah.
I really want to play Envy. Like I think their team is so cool, and that we're trying to have a different style. I was like hoping, please be in our group, because I just think it would be. I don't know why that team just intrigues me, and I really want to play them. So, yeah, if we can meet in playoffs, maybe it will be a good match. But yeah, I just want to play them.
We've actually faced Envy last year and this year.
Too many times.
Yeah.
So I do think there is. I'm not gonna say better or worse, but the old Envy and the new Envy is actually quite a bit different.
Mhm.
I think last year with the young guys, right? I think they had this crazy passion and fire. I think that alone was really hard to play against. Even though I think this Envy player quality wise similar, if not even better, more proved experienced players. But I think at least when we practiced them last year, this year, God, it was fucking tough before. But then again, last year we haven't practiced against them much. We only faced them in officials. So it was different because always scrims and officials are different. So it's really hard to say. But now with the rebuild, I think, it's going to be exciting to see how they do. It's always very sad when a Ascension teams comes in and you have to make changes. Sometimes because of visa scenarios, sometimes in Envy's case, players are not old enough and stuff. So these forced roster changes, they do suck, but hopefully they're gonna find their footing as well.
Yeah, it's more, and it's also both you and me agree on this, that teams that have an identity is always fun to watch, and it's important to have an identity. So that's why I like facing those kind of teams like Envy, even NRG has a very specific identity on how they play, right? So I hope we get to face them. Also, MVS has been hyping up Envy so much back in the scene, so we're both big fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very different Envy. Let's just say that. This Envy is very different.
Are you throwing shade?
No, I mean, not at all. Actually, I can't tell you if they're better or worse, but it's definitely you guys are talking about Envy's identity. I feel with the new changes, I feel it's completely different because a big part of their identity came from Kane and Ion and their play style. They kind of dictated how they played. So I feel with those two gone, it's more Kesnet, and now it's gonna be Demon One. It's gonna be those two who are gonna influence the way they play. So obviously I'm excited to see how they play, but I don't feel like they're gonna have the same identity at all. They're
It
gonna
is-
keep that same idea, but it's not
Yeah.
gonna be similar.
Yeah,
It
makes
is
sense.
impossible to say better or worse just because last year they played tier 2, this year they play tier 1,
Yeah.
different roster.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. But they do feel different. I
Yeah.
think it's way more, because of the experienced players as well, way more controlled, and even though like their playstyle is still wild, but there is some control to it.
Yeah.
Like last year it was definitely different, but at the same time, there is a good saying, when you don't know what you're doing, it's very hard for your enemies to know what you're doing, right? That's how I felt like last year. Even though like no shade, it was fucking tough to play against them, and I think like the duo of Aya and Kane was like really hard to fucking handle. I remember when we faced them as well, it's like no anti, because everything is different every time. It's just control. If they dive, sit in smoke, wait, he will come.
If there's a smoke, you guys got to hold the smoke.
Yeah, you gotta hold this one.
That's
That's the most anti we had.
It's like the short meta is so...
Yeah.
Okay, it's not brain dead, obviously, but as an old man that can't play with a shorty myself, I just find it annoying that every smoke I enter is like a guy with a shorty.
All right, let's move forward, guys. Maybe last, if not the last question. VCT Santiago predictions. Who do you guys have winning it all?
Furia winning it all. I don't care. Furia's winning. I want them to win, but I don't know who's actually gonna come on top. I feel like G2 is so strong, but I gotta bet on my boys Furia.
Surely G2 win international at this point. These guys have qualified to so many internationals.
Yeah, no,
This
that's
is-
true.
like one of them is like one of these international qualifications has to result in a win, right? Honestly, though, I'm looking at like EU at that general, like looking at Martin, like that, I mean, if that guy's gonna drop nuclear numbers every series,
Oh,
then,
yeah,
I
but I
mean,
don't
they're gonna
think-
win Santiago, no problem. But I love
You think he's gonna have 100 every
I want
year?
G2 to finally win international. You know, they put up such strong domestic performances every time. I mean, surely it's gotta happen internationally, one of these international qualifications. But I mean, looking back or just looking at it right now, I kind of want Gentlemen because Glyph coming from NA, he's doing good as an
Absolutely.
import. I mean, I like supporting underdogs and just people that come from our region because it makes us look better, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Gentlemen from you and probably G2 for NA for me.
I'm cheering for NRG. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
I think they're obvious. Like my brain says G2 or NRG.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm leaning towards G2 a little bit more even. I'm not sure why. That's how I feel. But my heart, I have to go with Gentlemen. My boy Starkso.
Yeah.
He's always like been a long fight for him. I feel like against the haters, a lot of them. But he's such a nice guy. Obviously, he shows character, like on the all the L dances with the Fortnite and stuff. But he's such a nice guy, such a hard worker as well, a very good teammate too. So I'm happy to finally see him back to tier 1. Very happy to see him doing well. I think Martin as well is being utilized like so well. That guy's like ceiling is infinite, feels like. So my personal, hope is Gentlemates. I'm very happy, not very happy, sorry, very excited to see how far Furia can go. Because I think they're a team that, one of those teams that is like nobody expected. And even when they qualify as first seed, people are still like,
Gonna doubt
nah,
Yeah,
nah, it has to. Because,
There's so
like
many-
I'm going to go through Furia's like road. Okay, so I don't remember the first win or two, but then, okay, they faced Sen. Everyone's like, okay, this is surely where it stops. Surely, right? Sen, 41 odds, it's just done. No.
G2.
Next, G2. Okay, surely.
Impossible, yeah.
Absolute impossible, no question. No.
Yeah.
Next, MIBR. Okay. Yeah.
This is
they
where it ends.
Yeah, talent check, right? They don't have the talent because it's just, a lot of like a couple of tier 2 guys, a couple of tier 1 guys that got like dropped from teams. Like they're the outcast kind of, I don't want no shade, but that's how some people see against the super team. Nah.
I mean, it was
Okay.
some smart people who predicted Furia would win.
Okay.
though.
You're him, Eric.
Yeah,
you're
but
him.
I just love that kind of like underdogs, story, and I'm very excited to see.
They're
if
coming
they
with
can-
so much momentum.
Yeah, if they can keep doing that in international
Yeah.
as well.
Same with BBL and M8 for me.
Yeah.
Like that's
what I'm
in
saying.
my heart.
This
I'm a
kickoff,
yeah.
I feel like every like weak team last year just came into this year, and now they're just first seed, and it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You're him, Jordan. You're him, bro.
That's actually so funny.
I'm also excited to see how all gamers do, just because it's just personal bias. It's like they have Fanger, who's like the duelist for them, was the guy that I was planning to pick up for Ascend before they quit for the rebuild we're gonna do. So he did play like in KC Academy last year, I think. So yeah, like he joined them, a young, like 18, I think he's 18, maybe 19 now. So I have like my personal, you know, guy there as well that I'm cheering for. Interested to see like how China has developed in like another year, because they did start like late. I think nobody expected when the DG won champs, nobody expected. They're like, oh, okay, so is China actually good now? And then next year it seemed like they fell kind of like back to, you know, being...
But we're still very good.
No, they are good. But it's very interesting to what the development looks like this year as well. I think they did like so many rebuilds, right? Like I think all gamers came from like being the bottom or one of the bottom teams to now being the first. Similar things with Gentlemates, similar things with Furia. Yeah. Like this,
even
it's
like an underdog.
Longship as well. Yeah, like every region, or like if you shown the number one seeds from all the regions to anyone last year, so like all the bottom teams, right? So I think obviously it is Kickoff.
Yeah.
Kickoff is the most random and volatile kind of, you know, results you can have, because it's start of the year and it's like who meshes the fastest, who catches the momentum in their sales like the most.
Who has the read on the meta, you know?
Exactly, read on the meta is super important. So I'm very curious to see how far those teams go, but it's gonna be I think it's gonna be interesting to also see like PRX, right?
Yeah.
To see how they mash against.
I want to see PRX versus NRG. That's for me probably gonna be the final.
Oh,
really? PRX Energy?
Yeah.
That would be a boring final though.
Would it?
Ah, come on.
Yo, 5.
Also,
okay,
wait. I have to root for NRG because we have a Swedish coach. Okay,
Yeah.
that's like the only Swede left in the whole of VCT. It's me and him, you know.
In my opinion, that's the worst team NRG could hope for. I think stylistically, they would struggle against PRX. So I don't think NRG is a worst team. I just think like so let's take NRG against somebody like Fnatic or even G2. G2 showed like a different face now, but just historically, right? I think NRG would win, but then you take like PRX and it's like flips a little bit. So yeah, but you know, I'm pretty sure they know their weakness and they do have a couple of weeks to work on that. So it's gonna be interesting. I think the first matchup G2 against PRX.
Yeah, it's G2 PRX first.
It's gonna be a
bad.
That is gonna be
G2,
insane.
the newly found double duelist against PRX that they've been doing for 5 fucking years. So that's gonna be cool.
They've been dipping in the like fountain of youth. You know,
it's literally the strongest run it down team of all time against the new run it down team
against Baby Bay, the guy that will run it down.
It's actually such an inspiration.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right. Any final thoughts? Some words to the fans, maybe?
Hello, fans. Okay, keep sharing at us. Like we're working super hard in the background. Everything is looking good. By the classic.
By the Hamitis bundle.
You know, I'm not obliged to say it, but yeah, just support the guys, support us, support the team. We read all the comments that are nice. It actually helps us.
We never read the comments that are not nice, though. Don't even bother.
You know?
Don't even bother.
But, you know, it's just helpful when, you know, we have good support. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Like, nothing else.
W, final message. W.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better.
It's the worst message ever.
I want to say thank you to the fans as well, because I feel like we've been welcomed to the 100 Thieves like family very nicely from not only the inside, the organization, the club, but also from the community. So thank you from the bottom of mine and others' hearts as well. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps our episode of Instalocked. And if you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.